Hey y'all, it's Casey here for the second episode of It's Lit here on Glutz and Grammar, which I'm super excited to talk to you guys about today. For the book today, I wanted to talk to you about this graphic novel called Page by Page by Laura Lee Gulledge. For me, it was a really great read. I loved it. It was very easy to breeze through, but it had a lot of deeper meaning. But I thought it was super interesting, just a really, really great book. What it does, it follows a high school age Paige, who is going through a pretty big move from Virginia to New York City with her family, with her mom and dad. And it follows her throughout the school year, getting used to a new place, a new school, new friends, the friendships that she makes with a couple friends, a girl named Jules, a boy named Gabe, and then finally how the relationship between Paige and Gabe grows from just being friends to more of a romantic relationship. But it shows how she finds freedom in her drawings and in her sketchbook journal, which the whole book takes place basically in her sketchbook. And you see her thoughts being drawn out. It was a really, really great book. Again, I really loved reading it. I read it for my young adult literature class, and it was really, really great. So, with all that being said, it might not be easy to see how conflict would play a role in a book like Page by Page, but it actually does kind of drive the whole book, which is interesting to look at. There's not so much outer conflict, kind of like what we talked about in The Outsiders, but there's inner conflict within Paige. Specifically with her wrestling with her feelings about how she feels about this new place of New York versus her home and what she left behind in Virginia. And there's a lot of wrestling with how she feels about showing her artwork to other people, how she doesn't feel like she can open up fully at first when she first gets to school, and then how her relationship with her parents seems a little strained. This is seen a lot. I think in one scene, Paige describes her mom as wearing this happy mask where everything has to be perfect, but that she hardly ever gets to see the mask come off, which can be troublesome, I think, for a high school student who really needs a parent there to kind of help her out throughout everything that's going on in her life and those changes that a teenager's really going through. And I think it's just an interesting book to look at. She's wrestling again with her feelings for Gabe and how that interferes with how it could possibly interfere with her friendship with Jules. And I think it's a good thing to talk about specifically with all middle school students, that your feelings are your feelings, and it's okay to feel a certain way about being attracted to someone of the opposite sex, or your friendships and how they're different when you enter middle school versus how they were in elementary school. I know personally, none of my friends that I really got close with in middle and high school were friends that were girls that I grew up with, going to elementary school with, except for maybe one or two, because we did stuff extracurricular together, but we still didn't go to elementary school together. But I think it's a valid thing for kids to be afraid that what they're comfortable with is all going to change when they enter middle school. And I think it's really important that we drive that as teachers, that we drive it into them, that it's okay to be scared, and it's okay if things do change. Sometimes the best things happen because of change. Some of my best friends now, even in college, are people that I never would have thought I would have been friends with. And it's been a really great 4 years with all of them, and I wouldn't change it for a thing. But I think it's really important that we talk to them about wrestling with that conflict of things are changing, and that it's okay if it does change. Speaking of reaching with middle schoolers, there's lots of things that you can do with middle school students. I would recommend this book might be a little bit more for maybe 8th grade or more for high school. But you can definitely talk about some of the same concepts with younger middle schoolers, 6th and 7th graders. There's a few instances where it talks about more sexual stuff or more adult content that I think would be more ideal for older kids. But these are some things that you can talk about with maybe 6th or 7th graders that deal with Page by Page that I think would be appropriate for them. One is kind of if you're having kids do journal entries every day, it's kind of like a bell ringer or an assignment of some sort. You can have them draw it out, kind of like the Paige does with her sketchbook. Kind of draw out what they're going through, and you can kind of look at that and see how they are interpreting the events that are going on in their life. Going off of Paige's sketchbook being the basis of the book, you can always talk about what her drawings mean and kind of pick out the symbolism between them. I think that was something that when I was talking with a friend of mine in my class about different teaching strategies with this book, that was something that she brought up. And then this book opens doors for starting units and lessons on visual literacy. And you can go even beyond the book and look at things like different photographs or videos and see how that encompasses literature as a whole. And then finally, if you have kids that don't love to draw, or it's just not their thing, they claim not to be good at it, so they don't do it. All kids can draw. I can't draw stick figures straight, and I love drawing. You can always have them do like kind of concrete poetry, which is basically having a poem and then making the poem work itself into an image, which I always think is really, really neat, and it's a good way to kind of make real art out of words. So those are some ideas that I have. If you have any more suggestions of teaching strategies, you're welcome to put them in the comments below. Again, I'm Casey. You can follow me on Twitter at Ms. Jones Does ELA. .com. That's a different thing. My Weebly website to my portfolio and my website is msjonesdoesela.weebly.com. There it is. But if you like the video, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.